Let's talk about the paper analysis for CSAT paper 2 prelims 2020 examination. For those who have appeared, definitely the paper was relatively very easy, so expect a higher cutoff this time. The questions were not very difficult. None of the question was from core mathematics that required a skill above a level of class 10th, we would say. Now, of the total 80 questions that were there, we can simply say nearly 40 questions belong to reading comprehension passage, which were much more applicative and conceptual in nature. The direct knowledge as such was not asked, and the idea was not to just read the passage and find the lines and just answer those, but to deduce what was there. However, with lot of reading comprehension passages, it was given assumptions, whereas in the choices it was a logical conclusion that was mentioned. So there were ambiguities within the paper, but besides that, what is important to understand that this reading comprehension required knowledge of basically, the more you read the editorials, the more you try to build up your concepts, the more you would be able to attempt your reading comprehension very well. Now, from the remaining section, there were nearly 8 to 10 questions that belong to data sufficiency directly and indirectly. Data sufficiency has not been so far part of your question papers. This was the very first time I believe you had so many questions from data sufficiency. However, such kinds of questions are usually seen in GMAT examination, so a good way to practice is go through those questions again and again. All the data sufficiency questions required a basic skill or a basic knowledge of understanding. There were lots and lots of questions related to logical understanding. Even for the questions where mathematics was part of it, we need not to do whole of mathematics to solve those questions. If you have the right logic, you can just do it very quickly rather than doing it question by question. So understanding logic is again very important. In 2019 paper, we had seen questions from cubes, dice, speed, train problems, profit loss. So profit loss was also this time, but the questions were very conceptual. There was no difficult questions. There were no questions on mixtures and allegations. So the relative level of the paper for paper 2, we would say, was relatively easy but much more conceptual and logical. So you have to practice a lot, and once you practice a lot, you would have an automatic insight as to how to solve these kind of logical problems. We have also discussed the question paper separately, and the students have raised certain doubts and certain clarifications for those questions. Those have been discussed further separately in our class on clarification and errata. So all the doubts have been fixed in that class. I would request you to just go through those to get an insight for those who are planning to appear for next years, and for those who have appeared, it's a right time to start preparing for your mains without wasting a single minute and without thinking about what would be the cutoffs. Now, many of the institutes would give you varied kind of cutoffs, but that does not matter. The proportion of students who appeared this time were relatively less as compared to always. But remember, those who appeared were only the well-prepared students. Those who were dicey about their preparation already skipped it. So definitely competition is tough. Don't wait for the last moment to start your mains preparation. It's a high time to start your mains preparation right away without wasting a single minute. We would be covering and capturing a lot of information for you. Stay tuned. Have a wonderful day ahead.